Hey everybody, welcome back here to A Place to Heal. My name is Marie. Thank you for joining me. And as usual, all my TikTok videos are here on YouTube, and I'm also on Instagram and just pretty much everywhere else. All right, so let's get right into this. So there's a lot of people, I get a lot of emails and requests and stuff for digestive issues. Right? Digestive issues are huge. And I'm seeing kids 5, 6, 7 years old with these digestive issues. That is insane. Okay, but you know, if you keep these digestive issues going, it's only going to get worse into their teens, and of course, you know, into their 20s and 30s and so on. It's going to get just worse and worse and worse. So I'm going to give you, from my perspective, what has helped me, what had stopped my digestive issues. And I'm telling you, mine were pretty bad. I had IBS, I had ulcerative colitis. Mine were really, really horrible. And one of the first things that I did was dairy. You know, I held on to dairy as long as I possibly could. And it just got to the point where it's not that bad, it's not that bad, it's not that bad. And I ended up finding out that I really had a really bad allergy to dairy. I mean, it was to the point where I would have never pinpointed it, because the pains that I was having pains in my side, and they were radiating into my back and all sorts of stuff. I would have never. And just recently, I had a gentleman who explained to me those exact same pains. You know, it's like, Marie, every time I eat, you know, it's like I feel like I'm really bloated, and it feels like I can't eat, and it's going into my back. And I said, you know what? I said, I bet you have the same allergy. You need to go in. Sure enough, that's what it was. So there's a lot of people that are unaware that they are allergic to dairy products. So, you know, I've had children who can't sleep at night, grinding their teeth, all sorts of stuff, and everything gets reversed just by stopping dairy. I mean, it's that simple. It's just certain ingredients in dairy and all the hormones and everything else that really disrupt our bodies. Second thing that I did was I embraced fruit. Like, I don't care if you're a diabetic or you're not a diabetic. Fruit is not going to do you a bit of harm. I'm going to be doing a live on this on Instagram later on. And, you know, it's fruit is your friend. It is not your enemy. It doesn't promote candida, all that other junk that they're having you believe. So between 12 and 4 o'clock during the day, I up my fruit intake like crazy. You know, like today, I mean, I just finished having some apples. I had a tangerine. I'm going to be having some grapes, and I'm going to be having some kiwis, and maybe even a mango. So I will up between 12 and 4. I up my intake of fruit to 5 servings. Between 12 and 4, you know, I like eat 1 an hour. That's my lunch. Basically, I span it out, and it does not affect your diabetes. It does not affect your blood sugar, anything. But right now I am going to show you this recipe, because this is one of the things that I absolutely loved, and it's one of the things that helped me the most, and that is slippery elm. Slippery elm, if you buy it in a tea, it almost kind of looks like cotton. Right? So this is fine if you want to make a tea out of it. I'm not a big tea person, because, especially of slippery elm, because there's a reason it's called slippery elm. It comes from the bark of the slippery elm tree. And when you mix it with water, it becomes very gelatinous, and it's very slimy. And I can't deal with that texture. I just can't. It's you know, it's almost like eating oysters. I mean, if you like oysters, you're gonna love slippery elm. I'm not that type of person. So I either suggest, number one, you either take it in a pill form, so you can take it. But my favorite way to do this, which is the fastest way that it can get to your colon, is, I'm going to show you right here. Okay, so normally what I do is I buy the powder, okay? Not this, I buy powder, make sure it's powdered slippery elm, and I add, I'm going to say about 2 teaspoons of the slippery elm into a little cup. And then I take 1 teaspoon of honey, and then you pour it in there. You want more powder than you want honey, because what you're trying to do, and you keep rolling it, and what you're trying to do is you're making these great little balls. So what I do is I make them like cookies, okay? So once the ball has been made, okay, once the ball has been made, I put it on a dish, and then I put it in the freezer, and I pop them in. I used to pop them in my mouth as I needed them, or you can just roll them, and once you have it nice and rolled, and you've made the ball out of it, all you have to do is just take it. This stuff is awesome. Let me tell you. Read you here. This stuff is excellent for digestion. It helps digest food so well. So if you take it after you eat, it's awesome. Or even before you eat. You can take one before and after. Okay, it's anti-inflammatory. So it helps bring down all that inflammation in your gut. It's great for healing wounds. So if you have a wound, you can actually take it and you can actually wet it and you put it on the wound, and it will help that wound heal a lot faster. If the wounds are on your feet, or like open ulcers or whatever, you can actually do a foot bath with it. So you put, I'm gonna say 2 handfuls in some nice warm water and dip your feet in there, and it'll help seal those ulcers, those wounds up. It improves circulation. It's great for circulatory, for your heart. It treats ulcers, like I said, not only on the outside, but on the inside. If you have stomach ulcers or peptic ulcers or any type of ulcers, whether they're outside or inside, slippery elm is excellent. It's a great detox for your body. It's a great pain reliever. So it also helps relieve pain in the muscles and in the bones. And it helps with nausea. So if you have nausea, I mean, this is my grandkids, when I give them this, they just love it. It's like, here you go. These little tiny, but frozen, they like them frozen, right? So these slippery elm is also great for issues with your teeth. So if you have bleeding gums, or you have ulcers inside your mouth, or anything like that, skin cancer, whatever, this stuff is awesome. So you can either get the powder and mix it in a little bit with your toothpaste, or just mix it with water, brush your teeth with it. It stops the bleeding in your teeth. Or you can also mix it with water, make a tea out of it, and then you can swish it afterwards, right? And it helps tighten those gums and everything else, and helps with any ulcers or open sores that you might have in your mouth. And what's great about slippery elm is it will not harm partials, it will not harm caps, or any kind of fake teeth you might have in your mouth. It won't harm any of that. It won't harm veneers or anything like that, like other things will. So slippery elm is excellent for that. So there you go. That is the way that I healed my gut issues, right? And you want honey. The honey that you mix it with, try to make sure it's organic or raw, or some sort of wholesome honey. If it's local honey, that's even better, because it'll help you with allergies. So that's how I healed mine. I completely got rid of dairy. Believe me, I fought dairy every step of the way. I'm like, I'm not giving up my cheese. I'm not giving up my sour cream. I'm not giving up, no way, my cottage cheese. My cottage cheese was the love of my life. I could make 10,000 recipes with cottage cheese, and I just finally had to give it up. And and yogurt and all that. So if you give up dairy, raise your fruit intake during the day, and take slippery elm. I guarantee you're going to see some nice results. And I'm going to tell you this ahead of time. You are not going to see results in 1, 2, 3, or 4 days, okay? When you stop eating dairy, it takes about 2 weeks for all that stuff to get out of your system. It takes about 2 weeks for this to get into your system. So give your body at least 2 weeks, because that's something else that I constantly see here in my practice is people constantly saying, well, I did this for 3 months and nothing. It's like, but it took you 40 years. So, it's like the pregnant woman that has a child and, she gains all this weight and in 9 months, and then 2 weeks after she delivers, she's like, I want my perfect little body back. And it's like, it took you 9 months, at least give yourself 9 months to go the other way. Right. So it took you 30 years, give yourself some time, give yourself some space. That is one thing that I do not like about Western medicine, is like, here, take this pill and in 3 days everything's gone. And it's like, that's not the way that organic stuff works, that holistic naturopath stuff works. You have to give your body a chance to recognize what you're trying to do to it and how you're trying to heal it, and go from there. All right. Okay, we'll see you next week with some more tips on how to stay healthy and how to heal your body. All right. Thank you so much for your viewership. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all your comments and, all your support. All right. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Please stay happy, stay healthy, and love and respect one another. No time better than right now to do that. Please love and respect one another. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.